We have Grandmaster Jose Martinez taking on Nodirbek Abdusattorov at the FIDE World Cup 2025. Jose managed to beat Nodirbek Abdusattorov in the first game with the black pieces. It was an incredible game where Nodirbek sacrificed an exchange, was better out of the opening, but great fighting spirit shown by Jose gave him the win. Now he has the white pieces, and look at Nodirbek there. He needs to win on demand with black, and if you can kind of bank on someone to win on demand, I would put really like my money on Nodirbek Abdusattorov because he's just so determined. He's always positive, backs himself. Will Jose Martinez be able to hold Nodirbek to a draw or even beat him? That would be one of the biggest upsets of the tournament. The players have shook hands and the game starts with pawn to e4. Let's see what Nodirbek Abdusattorov responds with. He responds back with the Sicilian. I think a great choice when you want to play for a win. And Jose plays c3, a great choice when you don't want your opponent to fight on full-fledged terms in the Sicilian. Knight f6 played by Nodirbek, attacking the pawn on e4, saying that your knight can no longer develop on c3. Pawn push to e5, knight jumps into the center on d5. And now pawn to d4, connecting the pawns together. Let's see what line Nodirbek chooses, because that would be a very important factor when it comes to playing for a win here. e6 played by him, knight comes out to f3. And pawn takes pawn taken here. White would take back with the pawn here. C takes d4. And pawn to b6. So Nodirbek wants to play bishop b7. Bishop comes to d2, and a very logical move because he wants to play knight c3, and when you take, maybe take back with the bishop there. Bishop comes to b7. Naturally, black would want to keep as many pieces on the board as possible. The knight comes out to c3. And now Nodirbek takes on c3. Well, if you take with the pawn, then moving the bishop to d2 didn't make much sense. So he takes with the bishop, thereby avoiding like a weakness on the open file. But at the same time, the bishop on this diagonal looks a bit passive. But Jose says, well, I can reroute it later. Knight goes to a6, and now pawn to a3, just taking away these squares. I guess you can reroute your knight from c7 to d5, and that's exactly what Nodirbek does. He goes knight c7. He has a few extra minutes on the clock out of the opening, which is good for him. Bishop goes to d3 on this long diagonal, and now bishop e7, trying to finish off the development. You can see that Nodirbek is delaying the d6 break. He's delaying all normal natural moves to keep some juice in the position, but in doing so, he's given white a nice center. Black castles, and now I believe white can also castle here. Let's see what Jose does. Whoa, he goes h4. What a move. And I think more from the perspective that it's one of the best moves there, but the fact that Jose just needs a draw, yet playing like this aggressive chess is so amazing. Bishop d2, and now you can imagine he might go rook h3, rook g3. He's basically telling Nodirbek, I'm not looking for qualification here. I'm looking to play the best chess. f5 played by Nodirbek. That's a good move. Now this structure is very strong, so taking en passant makes all the sense. Bishop takes f6, and now the d4 pawn is a bit weak, but also the black pawns on d7 and e6 are not particularly great. He goes d6, but that does weaken the e6 square. And by the way, bishop takes f3 here, queen takes f3, and bd4 does not really work because of here trying to mate, and if bishop f2, king e2, and white has a huge attack. So d6, rook c1, and now queen comes up to d7. And already, do we want to go knight g5 in? Get into the attack. No, he goes bishop b1. He's trying to go bishop queen d3 to mate on the long diagonal. e5 maybe is a good move. He goes knight to d5 here. But what about queen e4 or queen d3? How is Nodirbek planning to meet that? Jose thinks a bit. I guess he's ready for it. Queen d3 played. And now check here. Maybe Nodirbek wants to start running already. That looks risky. Oh, he goes king f7. He's running away. Maybe you can go g4, g5, go all out on the attack. Well, Jose takes it a bit sort of simple way, doesn't go g4, doesn't go all out. He after all just needs a draw. But I think this is the kind of position which Nodirbek also would have wanted. I mean, chances for him. And in doing so with black pieces, you often give chances to your opponent. King f1. The position is now even. Both kings uncastled. He goes king d8. If only he could get his rook out from here and move his king in, his king would be safe. For now, the white rook stands here. He plays rook e1, putting pressure on the e6 pawn. King goes to c7. And now queen e2, attacking the pawn on e6. I think black can simply get the rook a to e8, and Nodirbek Abdusattorov does it. At this point, I would say Nodirbek's chances are not worse. You go bd3. Maybe one idea is to trade, or even bishop b5 could be a threat potentially. He plays bishop to c6, stopping bishop b5 ideas. And look at Nodirbek there. So focused, so calm. King g1. Jose also just making all the best moves right now. King b8. Who will crack first is the question. bg6, another good move. I believe rook e7 has to be played here. And he plays it. Rook to e7. The bishop goes back to e4. And he brings his back the bishop to b7. What a fight this is. This is what World Cups are all about. You know that one player needs one result, the other player doesn't want him to give that result. Rook c8, makes the move, gets up, queen b3. And the lovely part is both these players have such immense willpower that they are not making any errors. Wow. a4. Jose is like, let's go. I attacked with h4 when your king was on g8. Now I attack with a4 when your king is on b8. Insane. a6 played. That does create a small weakness on b6, but ready to meet a5 with b5. He goes bishop d3 back. And now he plays his king to a7, tucking it in the corner. Rook to g4. Not so sure what's the point could very well be to go rook e4 to attack the e6 pawn. Queen comes up to d7. And maybe here there's a small tactical opportunity. Knight e5, d, the bishop is trapped. Will Jose find it? Does it? Whoa! Jose Martinez so alert here. Even though he needs a draw, he's going in. Queen d8. Nodirbek is like, I can't take it. I'm going to d8. Do you want to go back? Then I won't play queen d7. And Jose goes knight c4. g5 played by Nodirbek. He's starting his play on the king side now. H takes g5. And now pawn takes g5 makes a lot of sense. But he takes with the bishop. Maybe not the best move, because now Martinez has an excellent move and he finds it. Rook takes g5. Whoa! Man, what a move! H takes g5, boom, bishop takes g5 with just 7 minutes on the clock for both players. 37 moves completed, 3 more moves to go until time control. Queen c7 played, putting pressure on the knight. Bishop takes e7, and if you look at the number of pawns that are there on the board, white has 5, black has 4. White is a pawn of bishop e4 played, just threatening. Bishop takes and then take the pawn on b6. We are on move 39. I think Jose Martinez senses that he has his chance here. Knight comes to d2. Now we have to be careful. 40 moves have been reached here. Final move by black. And Nodirbek shows where his counterplay lies. He wants to go rook h8, queen h6, try to attack down the h file. Knight comes to c4, again threatening to take and take. Remember, Jose just needs a draw. Can you go and be bold to capture this? No, because knight d6 is hanging. So he comes back, queen c7. You have to go back. It's a repetition twice. Definitely not happening third time. Nodirbek is going to exhaust all the possibilities before he agrees to a draw. Because this tournament means so much for him. It's his only chance to get to the candidates. And he's already missed it last time. He wants to get in here. Rook h8. And now queen g3, another beautiful move. Stopping queen g7, attacking d6. Nodirbek plays queen f7. And the point is, if you take on d6, he wants to go queen h5 and get counterplay. So knight c4. Attacking with the knight. Now it's reached a situation where there is no longer you can play defensively. You have to go on the attack. Knight f4 played. Do you want to take on d6? Jose says yes. Why not? I'm attacking your queen. I'm attacking your bishop. What are you doing, Nodirbek? Nodirbek goes queen f6. And the point is, if you take here, queen h6 is happening. If you take bishop b7, again queen h6. Let's see what Jose Martinez does. He takes it. He takes the bishop. He's taking on Nodirbek's calculation. He's saying queen h6, queen h1, mate. What are you doing, Nodirbek? Plays it. Only move. f3 needs to be played. He finds it. Pawn to f3. And now queen f6 played again. Threatening queen takes d4. If queen, again rook e3, what a best move. If queen here, by the way, queen g5, knight h3 was a big problem. So rook e3. And rook f8, blunder by Nodirbek. He had to play queen d4, queen f4 and take a draw. But what to do? Draw is not enough. So he goes rook f8. And now Jose Martinez can just get his knight out. He's winning here. Because rook was needed. He comes back knight d6. Queen d4 now. But not enough. Not enough. This is not enough. King f1. What a move. If queen takes e3, queen g7 is checkmate. Nothing less. King b8, he has to play. He goes knight f5. Oh my goodness. What a chess. What chess this is. Queen e5 has to be played. Remember, if takes here, queen f4 check. Rook takes, well, queen g8 is happening. He goes queen e5, queen g7. Threatening a mate. Forcing the queen trade and resigns. Jose Martinez makes it to the fourth round with some insane play. I tip my hat to this youngster from Mexico. He's played just insane chess here. So powerful that even Nodirbek Abdusattorov couldn't handle his tactics and his accuracy. Man, this guy just 26-44 rated. I'm pretty sure is making a huge bid for making it to the candidates to reach the top spot, and we will follow his journey closely.